Today, I'm going to share with you 4 pieces of YouTube guru advice that I would completely ignore if I were able to restart my YouTube channel today with the knowledge that I currently have. I've been on YouTube for over 3 years and I have over 300 videos on my channel. And while I'm not monetized quite yet, I have learned a few things. And if you stick around to the end, I'm going to share what I think is probably the most important piece of advice that I would give to any new YouTuber. Let's walk and talk about it. Hi, I'm Tina. Welcome to week 7 of my YouTube growth and monetization challenge. I can't believe that we're only a week away from the end of this. This YouTube growth content is and always was intended to be temporary. It was a way to keep me accountable, to kind of focus in on what it was I wanted to learn, to share that knowledge with others, and of course, to achieve monetization by the end of the 8 weeks. It remains to be seen whether I will actually achieve that or not. But even if I don't, the rest of this has been so valuable. I have learned so much and I have met so many amazing new people. If you're one of them, I hope that your week is going well, that you have picked up subs and watch time and are just a little bit closer to your own goals. So typically the way these videos work is I go over last week's assignments, I go over my analytics, and then I talk about what I want to work on in the coming week. But I'm going to go ahead and get into those 4 tips first. So if you're here for that, you don't have to stick around for all the other stuff if you don't want to. The first piece of advice that I would give myself as a new YouTuber is that subs don't matter. Now wait, I can hear you saying, but I need 1,000 subs in order to get monetized. Yes, you do. But watch time, I think, is more important. And maybe that's coming from a place where I already have my subs. I achieved my 1,000 subs in December of 2023, which feels like a really long time ago now. And maybe if I were struggling for subs and I already had my watch time, my advice would be different. But I don't. And so I wish that I had not focused so much on subs at the beginning. And that kind of leads into the next thing that I would ignore, and that is to do shorts. I would tell myself, do not do shorts. And the reason for that is the watch time you get from those shorts does not count towards your long form monetization goal of 4,000 watch hours. And if you want to monetize shorts, you need something like 10 million views in 90 days. And for me, that's just not realistic. The problem with shorts is they are easy, they are fast, and if you are pressed for time, it is content that you can make and get out there quickly. And they do get subs usually. The problem is, most of the time, those subs don't then go and watch your long form videos. And so I spent time on shorts that would have been better spent on improving my long form content and building up that watch time. One caveat here is if you are in the, to me, enviable position where you have your watch time, but you still need subs, then yes, definitely pump out some shorts because they do get subs. I would typically get 4 to 10 subs per short. But like I said, it didn't translate to watch time. Even when I used the new feature where you can link a related video on your short, it just really was kind of a waste of time. Number 3 has to do with consistency. And all the gurus tell you to be consistent. And I agree with that. But most of them will tell you 1 video a week. If you can just do 1 video a week, that's enough. I'm here to tell you it's not. And the reason for this goes into the tip that I'm going to give you at the end, what I think is the most important advice I can give to new YouTubers. It is really hard to build momentum if you're only posting 1 video a week. I would tell myself, if I were a new YouTuber today, that I need to create 2 videos per week minimum. I'm going to sit and enjoy this little shady, quiet part of the park for just a little bit while I talk. What I'm basing this off of is that in November of 23, I decided to go from 1 video a week to 2 videos a week. And that's when I saw some growth starting to happen. And in December, like I said, I had a huge month. I had a lot of watch time. I had gained like 50 some odd subscribers, and that put me over the top for my 1,000 subscribers. That happened because I stepped up to 2 videos a week. Now, I'm not saying that infinitely more is better, because I do think that 2 to 3 is probably the sweet spot. 3 if you can manage it. But I also think that, especially for a new YouTuber, it takes your video a little bit of time to get some traction for YouTube to find an audience for it. And so if you're posting too frequently, then YouTube is going to ignore the video that they were working on finding an audience for and start working on your new video. And so if you're posting more than about 3 times a week, you start to, I think, cannibalize your own videos. I think you need to have at least an every other day cadence or an every 2 to 3 day cadence in order for YouTube to have time to find your audience. A lot of my videos start out kind of slow and then they start to increase as the days go on. And if you are starting to go up and then you insert a new video here, you run the risk of cutting that off and not seeing the growth that you might have on that video. But definitely more than 1 video a week. This next tip would have made tip number 3 so much easier for me, and that is forget the fancy editing. I did a video a couple of weeks ago all about this. I will link that in the cards if you want to see it. But especially if you are in the older millennial, Gen X, or boomer age category, our audience doesn't care about the fancy editing, and a lot of them actively dislike it. I was really into trying to figure out all of that retention editing stuff and do the flashy transitions and stuff coming in and titles and all of that kind of stuff. And it takes forever. And truly, with makeup content, there is a lot of editing that has to happen because there's a lot of stuff when you're putting on mascara. Nobody wants to sit there for 3 minutes and watch you put on mascara. You got to cut that or speed it up or something. So there's editing that has to happen. But I was trying to get way too fancy with it. And that was time that would have been better spent on working on another video and having 2 videos a week with minimal editing rather than 1 video a week with a lot of editing. So tip number 4 was forget the edit. All right, I think the sun is at a little bit kinder angle, and so I'm going to walk and find another nice place to sit. And while I do that, I'm going to let Office Tina tell you about my analytics for the week. If you're here for the advice that I would ignore and want to skip ahead to the most important advice that I would give a new YouTuber, I'll put a timestamp where you can go to so you can skip ahead to that and get what you came for. The rest of you, I'll meet you back here in just a second. All right, here we are checking out my analytics, and you can see here on the computer that we are looking at the week July 28th through August 3rd. I am tracking Sunday to Saturday. And on this, I had 785 views. I believe this is actually the worst week that I've had since I started this monetization journey, which is a little disheartening, but that's also just kind of the way YouTube goes sometimes. I had watch time of 66 hours for the week, and this says I gained 7 subscribers. So that's pretty cool. If I go to the content tab, I can see on my videos here that I had 11,600 impressions. My click-through rate was 3.6%, and my average view duration was 5.52. Scrolling down, I can see here that 46.2% of my traffic came from browse, and 13.8% came from search. I have started tracking this because I was watching a video from Alexis Serenoya. I think I said that right. And she was saying that she noticed when her browse traffic was higher, her videos performed better. So I just started putting that on my spreadsheet to see if that also held up for my videos as well. So let's go to my spreadsheet. I did update week 6. It seems like about a week after the analytics come in, if you check again, they've been updated. And I don't know if YouTube is like removing bot traffic or deciding what views are valid views and what aren't. But for me, it always goes down. Initially, when I put this on here, there was 1,000 views here, and now it's 896. This week, I've got 785 views. Kind of scared to see what that's going to go down to when I look at it in a few days, but it is what it is. I had 66 watch hours, which actually is not the worst week that I've had, and neither is this. The first 2 weeks that I did were actually worse. But the first week, I only had 1 video. Anyway, impressions were 11,600, and that also is not the worst week. My first week was the worst. My CTR was 3.6, and my average view duration was 5 minutes and 52 seconds. So if I look over here in the percent from browse, I've got 46.2% from browse this week and 13.8% from search. And looking here, the week that I had 51% from browse, the next week I had higher impressions and watch time and views. So it does seem like having more of your traffic come from browse is helpful. I just don't know how to make that happen. I feel like that's up to YouTube. So I think it's the thumbnail, title, packaging, probably keywords, that kind of stuff that help YouTube know what your video is about so that it knows who to push it to, that might affect impressions and browse and that sort of thing. So, but I don't know for sure. Anyway, it was kind of a meh week. It wasn't anything super spectacular, and it wasn't anything that like makes me want to cry or anything. So it just kind of is normal. One thing I do want to show you is I talked in this video about how you lose watch time. And so I am going to go here and select last 365 days. Okay. And you can see that if I'm looking at this here, I had 3.7 thousand watch hours in the last 365 days. However, that includes shorts, and those don't count for your 4,000 hours required for monetization. So how can I see this number without shorts in it? And if I come down here and click this See More, it opens up another window that has more detail. And down here, you can see that I have watch time, and it's that 3,681.8, but that includes shorts. So I am going to write down this number right here, this 3,681.8. Okay, this is giving me up to the minute. My Earn tab gives me watch time, but it's like 5 days behind. This will give me like current watch time. So then if I go up here to this filter and select content type, I can click on shorts. And the reason I'm not clicking on just videos is I also have live streams, and live stream watch time does count to your monetization. So I am just going to click on shorts to isolate my shorts watch time. And then I can see here I had 81.5 hours of watch time in the past 365 days just related to shorts. So if I take that 3,681.8 and subtract 81.5, the math is really nice and easy for me here. I get 3,600.3 watch hours related to my long form 4,000 hours monetization requirement. The other thing I talked about was how much watch time I'm going to be losing in the coming week versus gaining it. So if I wanted to see like how much watch time am I going to lose in the remainder of August, I'm going to close this, and I can again go to my date here. And today is August 6th. So I am going to choose a custom date, and I'm going to put in August 7th, 2023, and go to August 31st, 2023. Okay, that's the watch time that I got in the remainder of August last year. By August 31st, that's the amount of watch time I'm going to lose down the drain. Okay, and then I can click apply. And so in that next 3-week period, I am going to lose 111.7 watch hours that I earned last August. In order to just break even between now and the end of August, I have to get 111.7 watch hours or I start going backwards. And honestly, I have felt like I am just a salmon swimming upstream in a monsoon for the past year and a half. It can be really demoralizing, but it's also good to know what you're up against. And so I think it's important sometimes to look at your past 365-day graph for your watch time and see, okay, it's August. Do I have anything big coming up that I'm going to have to overcome? I don't know. Maybe you don't want to know. But if you do, this is how you can figure it out. All right, let's go back to the park. Okay, this is one of those weeks I haven't had a chance to look at the analytics yet. So hopefully it went well and Officina was happy. I do check my Earn tab every day, so I know that I was up overall on watch hours. The one thing I'm not happy about this gimbal, and I haven't quite figured out how to fix it, is when I'm filming through the DJI app, it's recording at 720p, and I'm filming from my front-facing camera, and so the quality isn't what I'm used to because I'm used to filming in 1080p. So I need to figure out a way to fix that, and if you could let me know down in the comments, I would really appreciate that. Error, I forgot to bring the screw-on tripod for the base of this gimbal, and I really wish I had it now that I'm sitting here at a picnic table. On to last week's assignments. I had given myself an assignment of making a list of the 5 to 10 videos that I thought would be the best and easiest for me to produce on my channel, and I did that. And I even filmed one of them right before I started filming this video. So yay me! I also filmed and uploaded a video that I have been struggling with for weeks. And that's the why it's so hard to try new things over 50 that I just put up on Friday. It'll be up in the cards and linked down below if you want to see that. I am really proud of that video. It was a departure from my normal beauty and lifestyle content, but it was a first foray into an area that I want to delve into more, and that's topics that are relevant and interesting to people in the older millennial and Gen X age brackets. So if you saw it and you liked it and you think I should continue in that direction for some of my videos, then please let me know down in the comments. I'd appreciate that. The other thing that I'm proud of this week is that I planned 3 videos, including this one, and for all 3, I planned the title and thumbnail first. And it really does make the first 8 seconds so much easier because you just kind of have to repeat your title and thumbnail in the hook. It's basically putting that thesis statement right up front where it belongs. This week, I am obviously just going to continue with what I've been building upon in the past 7 weeks, but I'm also going to start thinking about the basic content pillars that I want to have on my channel. And a content pillar is kind of like a broad topic that your videos could fall into. For example, I do a lot of beauty and makeup content, and so there are some really loud locusts over there. That's really rude of them. Anyway, a makeup and beauty channel, for example, might have content pillars of get ready with me videos, product reviews, tips and tricks, and hauls and empties. So those would be 4 kind of buckets that hold the content of your channel. And when you're planning your content calendar, you can make sure that you vary the kinds of videos that you're putting out by, instead of maybe not planning like next Monday I'm doing this exact video and Friday I'm doing this exact video, you could say on Monday I'm doing a get ready with me style and on Friday I'm doing a product review, and then next week, and so you can vary your content that way. So I want to develop 4 to 6 content pillars that can kind of guide my topic planning in the future so that my content remains varied and yet I don't end up ignoring something, because sometimes I look back and I'm like, wow, it's been a really long time since I just sat down and put on makeup or something like that. So I want to wrap my brain around that idea of content pillars and see how it can be helpful in planning my content calendar in advance. And now for the most important piece of advice I would give myself as a new YouTuber. Do everything possible to get monetized within the first year. When you don't get monetized within the first year, it becomes so much harder to get your watch time. And that is because every day you are not only gaining watch time, you are losing watch time. It's like filling a bathtub with a stopper pulled. And what's really bad is when in the prior year you had a video that did really, really well. Like I had in February of 2023. I put up an eyeshadow palette declutter and it popped off and I got several thousand views on it and I got over 1,000 hours of watch time, which was amazing and awesome. Until February of 2024 rolled around, and all of those watch time hours went down the drain. So if I have a watch time day where I get 25, 50, 100 watch hours, it's really cool, unless I look and see that I had 75 watch hours last year on this day that I'm losing. So I kind of have to be twice as good today as I was a year ago, because otherwise I'm just treading water. And that's kind of the purgatory that I have been in for at least 1.5 years. So the advice I would give myself as a new YouTuber, get monetized in the first year. At least the first 18 months, because your first couple months you're probably not doing very much anyway. And so those watch hours aren't going to hurt as bad if you lose them. 2 videos at least every week, but probably no more than 3. Forget the fancy editing. It doesn't matter. And people in our age group don't like it anyway. No shorts. Don't waste the time or energy on shorts unless you get to your watch time and you still need subs. And just don't worry about subs. If you get the watch time, the subs are going to happen. And while I can't go back and start over, hopefully, if you're a new YouTuber, that advice is helpful to you. and you will soon achieve your monetization goals. If you're working on growing a YouTube channel as well, let me know how it's going down in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and I will see you next week with the wrap up of my YouTube growth and monetization journey. Bye-bye.